Ever since killing it on the hit Netflix series Bridgerton, Regé Jean Page has been a name on everyone's lips, whether they've watched the show or not. Even though he won't be reprising his role as the Duke anytime soon, unfortunately, Regé's been doing pretty well in his career. In a recent interview with Irish Tattler, the actor touches on many topics from masculinity to imposter syndrome. Anyways, without further ado, let's get right into it. First things first, what is imposter syndrome? This is a word that's been thrown around a couple of times, but not many people fully grasp what exactly it means. Funnily enough, imposter syndrome tends to disproportionately affect those people who are anything but imposters. Usually, they're high achievers who have a ton of accomplishments on their resumes, but they find it difficult to accept and take due credit for those accomplishments. Loosely, imposter syndrome is defined as doubting your abilities and feeling like a fraud. If you've ever been in a situation where you felt you weren't good enough to speak on a topic or even work on something, chances are you've gone through this before. Imposter syndrome pretty much targets those people who have done something really great in their life, but they feel like they don't deserve that achievement. And for that reason, they end up feeling like they're an imposter. It's an interesting phenomenon, one that even more interestingly tends to target high-achieving women the most. Next up, Regé Jean Page admits to having imposter syndrome himself. If there's one person that would be at least close to the last on the list of people who you'd think have imposter syndrome, it would definitely be Regé Jean Page. In recent years, the man has had accomplishment after accomplishment added to his long list of achievements. Not to mention, he enthralled everyone who watched the show with his performance on Bridgerton as the Duke, pretty much becoming a heartthrob sensation overnight and extremely disappointing fans when he was nowhere to be found in the next season. But Regé's a human just like all of us, and in the end, we should probably remember that the actor wasn't always so popular. In fact, before Bridgerton, he was relatively unknown, so it's not surprising to hear that the actor might have had some doubts about his successes after the sudden boost in popularity and fame. Anyways, in the interview, when he was asked whether he had ever had imposter syndrome creep in, he answered with a resounding, "Yep, all day long." Then with a laugh, he continued to share that yes, he did feel imposter syndrome, but the fun thing about imposter syndrome was that everyone has it, and yet no one realizes that. It's a pretty insightful take. Coming up, what are Regé's plans for the future? In the interview, Regé Jean Page went on to share that while the work was coming thick and fast for him now, he didn't have any grand schemes set at the moment. He's avoided setting any specific targets too far into the future because, according to him, if he had a 10-year goal, it would only be achievable if he learned nothing in 10 years. Even in a year's time after setting the goal, it would easily go out of date. Right now, he wants to be open to being surprised and different as time goes on. The secret is actually in the things you can't forecast. And so, he hopes that his dream role will be something that he couldn't even imagine doing right now. In his opinion, it's all about making room for the unexpected, which, according to him, the unexpected is delighting, not only for the actor but for the artist and the audiences as well. He's hoping that he will continue to learn as life goes on and grow and adjust accordingly. Coming up, the accomplishments of Regé Jean Page. Fun fact, Regé Jean Page was born in London to a Zimbabwean mother who was a nurse and an English father. In his early career, he took on supporting roles in lots of different British dramas, such as Casualty and Waterloo Road. But it was definitely when he was casting for the Shondaland-produced legal drama For the People that was the real game changer. When it was time to cast the Duke of Hastings for Bridgerton, Shonda Rhimes knew exactly who to hit up for the role, and he did it splendidly. After that, Regé's career really took off, even though he decided against coming back to the show for another season. This summer, he starred alongside Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling in the feature film The Gray Man, the directors, writers, and producers of which are Joe and Anthony Russo. He also pretty recently finished up production on Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves by Paramount Pictures opposite Chris Pine, and it's set to be released in spring of 2023. And finally, he is also starring and being an executive producer of Paramount Pictures' revival of The Saint. And there have also been rumors that he'll be producing and starring in a heist film with writer and director Noah Hawley, and it's going to be produced by the Russo brothers again. To sum it up, it's a lot, and there's no doubt that Regé is only just getting started. Finally, Regé Jean Page talks about masculinity. This was another major topic that was discussed in the same interview. When the actor was asked how exactly he defines modern masculinity, he said that to him, it was how you keep masculinity moving, how you keep yourself honest, and how you keep yourself current is through the sensitivity to learn something through connection. According to Regé Jean Page, modern masculinity is pretty much sensitivity, and sensitivity is literally the ability to take in information. Without it, nobody would grow, and so he believes that if you want to be strong, you need to be able to take in information and also work on that information to improve and change for the better because you need to be wise. That, in his opinion, is modern masculinity. Now, moving on to other news. First up, Regé Jean Page and his girlfriend Emily Brown stick close when they leave Venice together. On their most recent outing, Regé Jean Page and Emily Brown were the prettiest pair on the block. On September 6, the couple was seen leaving for Venice airport wearing matching clothes. She donned blue jeans and a graphic t-shirt, while he sported a black t-shirt and blue pants. She had her blonde hair pulled up in a bun with a few strands cascading down next to her face, and the actor and beauty were both wearing sunglasses. They were in Italy for the 2022 Venice Film Festival, which attracted many celebrities for a number of epic film debuts. Regé Jean Page was present on the white noise red carpet. Regé Jean and Emily's most recent sighting is noteworthy since they haven't been frequently pictured together since they started dating. At Wimbledon in July, they were last spotted together. They were seen out on a date night earlier this year as well. Next up, Bridgerton's Regé Jean Page overtakes MCU star Idris Elba in the run for becoming the next James Bond, but he is still not the sure shot winner. Since Daniel Craig's final appearance as James Bond in No Time to Die, there has been debate on who should replace him. The official announcement will presumably take place during the upcoming 12 months. In the past few weeks, Idris Elba has maintained the second position in the continuously changing Bond odds. But a Bridgerton veteran who is one of the most fascinating and well-known artists in the UK has recently taken his spot. He's Regé Jean Page, of course. Page is still far behind Henry Cavill, who has the best chance of beating the Bond odds despite Page's amazing progress so far. The Superman actor currently has a 2-to-1 shot at replacing 007. Even though Page is a little younger than the Witcher star, he has a strong chance of landing the part because he tried out for it back in 2005. Sadly, after being told he was too overweight for the position, he was passed over in favor of Craig. There are 2 more actors in the race in addition to these 3. On the list of bookies are Daryl McCormack and George McKay. It's going to be super interesting seeing who gets the role in the end. Finally, Butch and Sundance, Regé Jean Page and Glenn Powell to lead Russo Brothers Western. Executive producers Joe and Anthony Russo are reinventing the classic Butch and Sundance with Regé Jean Page and Glenn Powell. The untitled project, which won a bidding battle with Disney Plus and Peacock, reportedly received a straight-to-series order and was acquired by Prime Video in the end. The scripts for the show, which has the potential to lead to several series and spin-offs, will be written by Kaz and Ryan Firpo. Despite the lack of information regarding the series, it is said that it will take place in a parallel America to that of Man in the High Castle and For All Mankind. Page, a former Bridgerton star who most recently appeared in the Russo Brothers' Netflix film The Gray Man, will portray Butch Cassidy, and Powell from Top Gun Maverick will play the Sundance Kid. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think Regé is right about imposter syndrome? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.